lovely Agent Intel segment today is being presented by our buddy, Mr. Ted Wenecki, Building a Valuable Close. Everybody, please welcome Ted.
All right, so I'm not good in front of people, so thank you all for being here. They said if you fill up the room with familiar faces, it was going to make it easier. They lied, but we'll get through it together. For all of you guys who do or who don't know me, my name's Ted. For all of you guys who do know me, I'm actually a career salesman. My last job was a finance manager, where I had the opportunity to go to school to learn how to specifically put vernaculars or hooks in your conversation, so then that way you can drive the conversation to a close, specifically with intangible sales. So I'll kind of get into it. In front of everybody here, you got a worksheet as you came in. At those at home, you got some on HST Lead Master, I believe, posted. You can look at this. The culture that we have here at HST is awesome. When I came here, I sat next to everybody I could possibly get in front of, and I took a feather from their hat. You'll see a lot of familiarities with the old lead gathering sheet in here, because I took a lot of stuff that I learned and I dumped it into this, and I kind of made a follow the bouncing ball method to fundamentals of sales and how much time you have to use these different areas. So this is what it looks like. This is the first gather sheet. What I did here, just real fast to show you briefly, is I made this for all the new people. It's designed at the end of this page, both back and front, to kind of train you in how to make a one-call close. But in the beginning, I understand that you're developing, so you have to project professionalism. Fill out this gather sheet, and then you can bring it to your leader. This is not meant to take over anything that you're already going over with your leader as well. This is just a play for your playbook. This is literally when you want to get involved with this, you can make a successful one-call close off of the information here. On the back, this is what you bring to your leader. On the top of it, you can see Mons, wherever you're at, he's a genius. I directly stole that from it. It took me forever because I don't know how to do PDFs for it. But this is what you bring to your leader. This is designed so then you can actually think about what you're doing. Layer the products. Present all the options. Show them the full menu. Compare apples to apples. The prices always seem to work in the favor of the coverage and the specific need that you cover on it. But I'll get into it right away. So I kind of put this in a pie chart fashion. The pie chart just representing the time that you want to take in those specific segments, okay? So you can see the introduction is huge. Building rapport and introduction is almost 50% of the time. You want to get what out of the reflex objections of life. It seems like everything kind of went to a robot mode. People just automatically turn you down at the phone conversation. No, I'm not interested. Make them interested. In your introduction, you can put verbal hooks to make them interested. Hey, I'm different than everybody else. I'll show you how too. Set expectations, investigate, present. Bring it all up front. You're always closing correctly, but you're giving subliminal word tracks, subliminal conditioning to the client, making them feel like it's their idea to purchase what you've had presented. Okay? So the close, you notice, it's just nothing. By the time you get through everything, they made up their own decisions because of what you presented. They feel good. There's nothing else to say besides, how would you like to pay for that today? So just kind of going into it, the introduction, I just use a first name basis. You can see it's printed right at the top of the sheet. Can I borrow yours, actually? Thank you very much. And don't notice the trembling page. So first name basis. All these people, majority of the people don't have house phones anymore. You don't have 11 people running up to grab the phone. You have one person. Everybody, even the kids, have their own phone numbers. You know, it's crazy. Call them by their name. Hey, John, what's going on? Be a person. Don't be a robot. Hey, is this Mr. Smith speaking? Yeah, it's their phone. So come, hey, John, and then I see, I can't even hold it. We'll just put it there. But I see that you've been looking for some health insurance. Do you still need help? This is something just to get out right away. If they say yes or no, it really doesn't matter. Try to give your elevator pitches next. Elevator pitch is just simply, briefly, who you are, how much do you cost, and how different you are from everybody else. So my elevator pitch is, my name's Ted. I work completely free of charge. I'm licensed with the federal government in order to help educate you on how to get affordable health care as well as avoid penalties. Just quick. I don't even stutter through that because I say it so often. But you have to make your own. Before you get on the conversation, know what you're going to say to the client in a rebuttal. It's almost like everybody here as a senior agents kind of find out that there's only really like a certain amount of different ways that people interact. And if you get those and master those, you've got an answer for everybody right away through practice. Another thing I want to say is the reason why I came up with this is because I notice a lot of people who have been here for a long time, and they always ask, why? What am I doing differently? What am I doing wrong? I'm making the 100 calls. Why is somebody else getting more than this? Is it the leads? Is it this? Where I come from in the car industry, the lead is as good as you are. What do you do with the opportunity that you have in front of you? It doesn't matter if you paid $20 or free leads. Nicole in the back of the room has been here 2 weeks, loves the free leads because it's like a new lead then. It hasn't been called for a long time, and she finds out that people, the way that she's using this sheets, people are giving her feedback. You know what? I haven't asked for help in a long time, but now that you say that, I think I do need help. It's like a new lead. Make the opportunity what it is. Create the build rapport, get them out there, make sure that you're not a salesman. You're a person. You're not a robot. Then the next thing is set expectation. This is essential because if you have somebody, you're catching them at a random time in their life. They didn't expect your phone call. But the worst thing is to get through a full conversation, and then right when they're about to pay, they're like, oh, I got to grab Bobby off the bus right now. I have no time to talk. And you wasted 45 minutes, an hour, whatever. You just feel bad because now you're chasing that person to get back the sale. Now you have to do the whole thing all over again. So set the expectations. I'm going to take about 10 minutes of time to verify your information. Give them expectations. You're going to verify the information that you have. It's a familiarity that you already have their information. So it's not like you're taking from them. It's like, hey, you asked for help. I already have everything. Here it is. I'm going to verify it. Ask a few health questions because you want to make sure that they're understanding that this is information that they covet. Who are you? I don't want to tell you about my embarrassing moment at the doctor, And then another thing is to implement or put that verbal hook in there. I'm going to talk about a budget, but not right now. You don't say, hey, how much is it? You don't want to be a salesman. Just later on, we're going to discuss it. So then it's a seed in their head. Okay, set expectation. Now you're going to investigate. Now, through the finance school that I went to, this was huge. When you're talking to people, you can put phrases in their mind and make them feel certain ways by conditioning them to say what you want them to say subliminally. So here's an example. Here, I'm just kidding. I don't even know where it is. So when you're investigating, it says there on the sheet, condition them to say yes. So it says, is your name spelled T-E-D? Everybody knows how to spell Ted, but yes, my name is T-E-D. I said a yes, okay? Or the client said a yes. Is your email? Is your birthday? Is your phone number? You want them to say yes. You're drawing the yeses. The reason behind this is a perfect practice method. By the end of your conversation, they said yes so many times through the conversation, the close isn't even a yes or no question, but they feel yes. They feel like they want to, like it's their idea. It's funny how things work. So investigation, when you're investigating, be a friend. Make it fun. Insurance sucks to talk about. It's boring. You know, what I like to do is on the sheet right there is a little reminder when you say, how many people is this coverage for? Oh, me and my wife. Pop quiz, what's your wife's birthday? I won't tell her you stuttered. It's just one of those things that, it's just one of those things that you get out, you want to be a person, but keep them in line with your goal. This is your sale. You want to drive them in a direction. You can listen to them, but then after they talk, go right into the next sheet or right into the next question. Bring that direction and they'll respect you more. At the end of the conversation, they'll start calling you sir, ma'am. It's weird. Just really weird. Anyway, while you're in your basketball shorts too. So investigate. um, when you're investigating, ask them if they have, their current policy and everything in place. You want to compare apples to apples. You want to draw out their pain, like everybody says. Um, get their information before while you're investigating. I know I'm spending a lot more than the pie is, but there's this is where you give your swag, is when you're investigating. If you just read it off real quick and you sound like a robot, you lose a lot of value within yourself. They want a friend. They want a superhero. Help me with all these problems. You're the man for the job, or woman for the job. Where's Beata? Oh, I felt that, but or woman. So you're the person for the job is what the whole big thing is. The presentation. Now, for the new people, this is your opportunity to set an appointment. Okay, just the front of the page right there. That's all the information. You don't even have to know anything at all. You just want to gather the information and organize it for your upline. Okay, back to the perfect practice. This is the perfect swing. Okay, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is gather the information and bring it to your upline. Now you bring it to your leader. You flip over the page. You got your opportunity to set an appointment, and you set it. Now you run to your leader and you say, hey, I got everything on here. What do we do on the back? I literally took this from Mons on the back side. It tells you if you're healthy or if you're not healthy. These are the carriers. It's a PDF form, so you can change it if you'd like to line it up with your business or commission, whatever. But this is going to help you on the back. It's perfect practice makes perfect. This is where you go get Bagger Vance and ask them what club to use. Hey, there's a slope going this way. That's your leader. They can, but before you bring it, fill it out. On the portion on the sheet, it's actually color coded. I got that from Jim Richardson. He's an old academy guy. He helps us get all of our licensing done in Illinois. He said if you print it in color or use a red pen, it imprints on that person more. So this is kind of a training for the downline or for the new onboarding. Fill this sheet out. Learn how to layer the products. There's multiple options there, and there's a total, because you don't tell them what each individual thing costs. You tell them the total. And then compare it to the marketplace. Everybody here knows that the marketplace is outrageously priced. Everything. Show it to them. Show them it's cold outside and bring them into the warmth. Hey, don't worry about it. This is the man for the job. You don't have to be that, chilly or whatever. So that's something that is immediately. When you drop it down into it, you take the marketplace plan and you go for the plan that either the whatever hits their pain, whatever is the subject matter of that conversation. If it's the gold plan or if it's the bronze plan, benefit is they're all super expensive, so you're going to be miles ahead of it if you do it correctly. But this opportunity allows you to layer 5 products. My newbies are selling 5 products per conversation very easily. Nicole got a 6th one. Hey, do you have life insurance? And that's 6 for one client. She's only had 2 and she's over 10. It's easy. It comes from the finance mentality of start them on the ceiling and peel them off. Give them the full menu. They might want the whole board from soup to nuts, literally, and some wine. If you present it possible, or everything, I'll present all the possibilities. On this, it also tells you to, when you bring it down, it tells you the values, so they subtract them. You just show them, frankly, right in front of them, how much they can save on a yearly budget for that arrangement. Let them make their own decision, but through the whole time, showing them the opportunity that they have to save a lot of money. And what you've done based on what you've told them, or based on what they've told you. I put an arrow by this phrase. Based on what you told me, these are the best products you qualify for. Using an a la carte method, we layer these products together in order to limit your out-of-pocket exposure. The reason why I said that is very powerful. These words are hooks. This is said not through a stumble. This is a direct form to just harpoon that sale and bring it into where you need to be. Based on what you told me, that's ownership. That's not, I know your neighbor is getting a subsidy and they're paying $20 a month for their 5-person family. I get that. But based on what you told me, based on these are the products that you qualify for. Right. Another ownership. Mm-hmm. This is a tool. This is a hook. Give them value. You qualify. You win. There's a trophy. Everybody wants a trophy. Using an a la carte method. An a la carte method is directly for food. Everybody loves food. So that's a direct method. A la carte fashion, subliminally, they're like, okay, I'm in a happy place. A la carte, what's that? Oh, that's kind of like a buffet. I could grab whatever I want, put it together. Great. You layer the products again, so then you get it out of the way. This is a different dynamic. Get your mind open to something different, because the system right now is failing. This is the answer that you're looking for. Okay, we're going to layer this product. And then to limit your out-of-pocket exposure is huge. It's not save you money, because I'm not a salesman. We're not slashing sales. Right. You can do this with or without me. But with me, you get an education. I sound fancy. Limit your out-of-pocket exposure. Gets them thinking, wow, this guy might know what he's talking about. That's something new I haven't heard. Okay, so that's huge. Once you get down to it, you've gone through all the objections and everything, you're on to your close. Oh man, I don't even know any of these slides are going with what I'm saying, but
you're doing great.
Pop quiz, have fun. Okay, sorry for everybody. I'm looking off of a sheet in front of me, but take the robot out of it. Okay, so as you're doing this, create your own swag. Like, I want you to hit bullet points on here, but I want in between for you guys to bring out what makes this healthcare solution team a family. It's you. It's your personality. It's everybody in this room. What you've done before here brought you here. Use that stuff. You know, it's all out there. It's all out there for you. Be a person. Always present the full package. Based on what you told me is huge. I can't get over how many times I've had that person just completely shut down their argument because they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I have stuff that's more expensive. I'm more fancy than everybody else. I get it. Like, it's just what they do. You're eligible, and then condition them to say yes. That's huge. In the beginning, when you're getting those free yeses, think of it like bonus points in your mind. You get those yes, 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 yes. By the end, it'll all add up. I'm telling you. It'll be so much easier. And then the close is simply, how would you like to pay for that today? I know it sounds crazy, but just ask for it. And be quiet. I love Sarah Leb. She's awesome. She's a captain at just putting an offer there and being quiet. This is where you be quiet. You finally are quiet. How would you like to pay for that today? Wait for it. If they have questions, then just say, okay, great. What I like to do in a rebuttal here is that I'll say, if they're like, I don't know, I don't feel like doing that, or can you send it to me in email? That means that they want it, but it's a reflex objection. You got to kind of coach them out of it. You tell them, there's two things that typically happen at this point. It's either the cost or the coverage. Which one is it? You put it in an either or, get them to talk again and repeat it. How would you like to pay for that today? Right. Take away the last objection that they have.
Right.
They'll say it. I have it. I train off of this, and I have it recorded where proof is in the pudding. You can absolutely do this. It's not a rare thing. This is not made up. All the top guys, all the books for the top salesmen, they seem to have this algorithm. They almost sound alike, don't they? Because it works. It's just like that ping, that perfect swing. When you hear that cadence, it just sounds a little, it sounds the same. It might be a different club, but that perfect swing, that perfect hit sounds almost the same as every other one. That's why it all sounds the same. But stop talking. Wait for a response on the close. Okay, so that's it. 10 minutes probably went up. But this is a quote that I like to leave here. Practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So.
Great job. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Anybody have any questions for
Does
Ted?
anybody have any questions?
So
Go ahead.
when you do the last rebuttal, you say, so at this point, there's typically two, what do you say, two objections?
Yeah,
two-
that's if they have an objection,
If
which
they have an objection,
majority
say
of the
again.
time they don't. Okay, so if they do have it, it's just like you're just right there. If it doesn't just fall into place, that's where you're quiet. And then
Right.
you say, you literally say, this is what I say. I've had this happen before through my time, working. It's always because of the cost or the coverage. Which one is it? Get them to keep talking because they're just not done. You just need to pull them out. They're just not ready yet. They're just not ready yet. But they're right there. And then when you pull it out and you kind of make it your fault, or say, maybe I didn't do the best job here. What is it? The cost or the coverage? Whatever swag you want to put into it, it draws it in, and then you get another bobble at the ball. Like you almost dropped it, but you get that one swipe, and you don't know. You could set it sometimes. Majority of the time, if you get them to draw it out, then they're like, you know what, this guy knows what he's talking about. There really is no opportunity to fail on this. Go ahead.
The other one that you always run into is, well, I got to talk to my spouse. Yeah.
That's in the set expectations.
Right.
In the set expectations, you should be aware of that. In the front of the conversation, you should ask, hey, find out what it is that there has to be. You could modify that as well. That's a really good point, because a lot of times, if I find somebody that I feel that needs another person to talk, like a younger person, I ask them flat out, hey, when we do make that appointment, could you make sure that all the decision makers are in the room?
Okay.
Let me do my job. I'm the broker. Put me on speakerphone. Throw all the questions. And by the way, before that time we meet, write down all the questions on a piece of note paper, and I'll find you all the answers. Because that's our job. So, anybody else?
You can always tell by the silence how well these things go, man. That's awesome.
Cool.
You did
All right.
fantastic.
That was